Us are going to be listening to Swamiji's profound revelations on how you can consciously access the superconscious happening in you. What does it mean to consciously access the superconscious happening in you? We are going to be listening to Swamiji's profound revelations on this sacred secret, and Swamiji is going to be revealing how the principles of how Kailasa functions, the Kailasa ecosystem, the principles on which this ecosystem functions. Let us all enter into the exclusive revelations and session with Swamiji. Each of these revelations are precious and an important initiation, especially to all the Kailasa Vasis, those who are coming and moving in and settling into Kailasa, and to all the Kailashins, the Kailashins who are living in all the Sarvajna Pita Yajaman, Sarvajna Pita Karta, Sarvajna Pita Ishwars, and the Sarvajna Pita intentions and manifestors for all of us. So let us all listen to Swamiji's profound revelations on how you can consciously access the superconscious happening in you.
Now, all of you listen. This is the direct message from Paramashiva. Life, the purpose of life, goal of life, why you exist, goal of life, why you exist, the productivity of your life is to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. Listen. Whether you believe it or not, you understand or not, you are ready to logically accept or not, the truth is, there is a superconscious happening in you which is beyond your control, your logic. That superconscious happening is responsible for your blood getting converted, digested and becoming blood, blood getting digested and becoming blood, your ideas, thoughts manifesting and moving your body, making you work to fulfill the thoughts you have. Millions of wonderful things happening synergetically, simultaneously, spontaneously in you. If you just try to be a leader, coordinating just 10 people and executing an action, just 10 departments and executing an action, then you will know how difficult it is to coordinate, organize, execute. But your body almost coordinating, executing 10 million things. I am telling you minimum. I can comfortably say at least billion things spontaneously, simultaneously, synergetically. Whether the way your breathing, inhaling happens and oxygen gets separated, pumped into the blood and body wherever the energy is required, and exhaling happens of all the carbon dioxide, or the bread, food, your food basically gets digested step by step, assimilated into your system as energy, and toxins and the waste getting cleaned, the water component going inside and filling yourself and keeps you hydrated, and the wastewater, unnecessary water going outside. Be very clear, there's a big difference, Ayurveda says, between motion and urine. The motion is completely toxic, but the urine is not said as toxic. Only one part, the first part, toxins go out. Then the next part is extra water, which is not needed, which is more than needed, goes out, but it's not always toxin. I'll describe how Ayurveda, Yoga Shastra describes about the body, details. Whether the muscles, the way it keeps itself alive, energetic, active, or the breathing system, the way it keeps itself active, functioning, or the blood circulation system keeps itself active, functioning, digestion system keeps itself active, functioning, the neurological system keeps itself active, functioning, all this simultaneously, spontaneously, synergetically, and there are tons of repairing job, maintenance job goes on inside you. So much is happening without your direct conscious involvement, because there is a superconscious happening inside you, getting conscious access to that superconscious happening is the goal of life. Listen. When you access the superconscious happening inside you consciously, I am not saying you may never need medicines from externally outside. No. If needed, even I take medicines. But you will know precisely what you need. You will know precisely where the repairing need to happen. Multiple things. You will know precisely. You can ask my doctor. My official royal physician is Sona Kamath from US. She is my royal physician. Precisely I will give the diagnosis to her. Then she will procure the medicines and what needed. And she will do what needs to be done. I am not saying if you get conscious access to the superconscious happening, you may not need anything from externally, food or water or medicine. No. I am saying the intake can be drastically reduced. And food or water or medicine, all these you will take precisely. And so many things, untold problems you generate due to unconscious way of life will become irrelevant. You will become so conscious about the way you exist. I'll repeat. Purpose of life is to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. That superconscious happening is what I call as Paramashiva. Some traditions call as Parandama. Some traditions call as Parameshwari. Some traditions call as Parabrahmam. Some traditions call that as Paramatma. Any name you may use, whether Paramashiva, Parabrahma, Parandama, Parameshwara, Parameshwari, Paramatma, any name. Having access, conscious access to that superconscious happening is the purpose of your existence. Listen to that. Understand that truth. When you get conscious access to the superconscious happening in you, you will understand, you will be able to operate, involve, do what you want with using the manifestation of your superconscious happening. Having conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you is Ichcha Mrityu. That is what is Kala Samhara. That is what is Mrityuhara. That is what is Mrityunjaya. The great Mahamantra, Mrityunjaya Mahamantra, given by Markandeya Rishi, gives you the beautiful description of having conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you, and that Mrityunjaya Mahamantra also opens, it's one of the path to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. Having conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you is becoming Siranjeevi, like Markandeya. Now listen. There are many paths to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. Being ferocious with yourself and focusing on the source of your first person. Focusing on the source of your first person gives you conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you, and everyone around you is also carrying the same superconscious happening inside them. That is why I say every one of you is Paramashiva. Many people say, Swamiji, I can accept you are Paramashiva, even I am Paramashiva, but never my spouse. That is too much, Swamiji. I have seen many people saying, I can very easily accept you are Paramashiva, Swamiji. I can very easily, maybe little more convincing, because you are saying, I'll accept, I am Paramashiva. But whether you say or anyone says, I cannot accept my spouse is Paramashiva. Listen, everyone has that superconscious happening inside them. To have conscious access to that superconscious happening, love, care, deep friendliness is the path, method. To have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you, being ferocious with yourself and focusing yourself on the source of your first person, unclutching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi Dhyana, all this ajapa japa of Nadatma, all this is a methodology to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. Love, care, sharing, deep friendliness, absolute love. Absolute friendliness, absolute care. All this is the method, technique, path through which you can have conscious access to the superconscious happening in others. All power manifestation is nothing but having conscious access to that superconscious happening. For example, if you get conscious access to the superconscious happening inside Agni, Agni is a being, a powerful being. Among the Panchabhutas, Agni is the most powerful being. I'm not trying to create competition. I'm just giving you some facts. So inside Agni, there is a superconscious happening. If you get conscious access to that superconscious happening inside Agni, you will manifest all kinds of power related to Agni. Agni won't burn. Wherever you invite, Agni will start. And wherever you say, please stop your manifestation or expression, he will settle down. If you say, don't destroy these things, he will not. He will do anything you want. Having superconscious being opening up to you and to give conscious access to you to that superconscious happening only, we use great mantras. Listen. Patanjali's Yogapada describes beautifully a word called samyama, multiple samyamas. Patanjali describes elaborately wonderful samyamas, and especially Patanjali's disciples who wrote Bhashya, the tradition, who built the tradition by writing commentaries, give elaborate detail about each samyama with mantra, tantra, yantra, to have conscious access to earth. Prithvi Tattva, to have conscious access to water. Jala Tattva, to have conscious access to fire. Agni Tattva, to have conscious access to Vayu, air. The Vayu Tattva, to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside space. Akasha Tattva. Yoga Sampradaya gives elaborate methodologies to have conscious access to the superconscious happenings in each Buddha, and each various elements and various aspects of the universe. Those methodologies are only called as samyama. Life becomes rich in you the more and more the conscious access you have for the superconscious happening inside you, outside in others and outside in many of the Panchamahabhutas or many of the elements of the universe. You can have a conscious access to the superconscious happening inside Chandra. There is a Chandra Samyama. You can have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside Surya, Sun, Surya Deva. There is a Samyama for that, Surya Samyama. You can have conscious access to the superconscious happenings in universe, people near you, inside you. Start with inside you because that is easiest. It's the best and easiest. Because the whole Brahmanda is happening in your Pindanda. If you get conscious access to the superconscious happening called digestion in you, suddenly you will realize you are getting direct superconscious access into Agni Tattva, because he is responsible for the whole digestion in you. If you get conscious access to your superconscious happening of breathing, whole breathing system, you will realize you are getting conscious access to Vayu. Whatever superconscious happening is happening inside Vayu Bhagavan, Vayu Tattva. Everything happening in Pindanda is happening in Brahmanda. Everything happening in Brahmanda is happening in Pindanda. Like how many dead cells are dropping off from your body, so many black holes are happening. How many new cells are creating in your body, so many big bangs are happening in the Brahmanda. Brahmanda and Pindanda is just mirroring each other. Mirroring each other. Pindanda is just a miniature version of Brahmanda. Brahmanda is macro version of Pindanda. Having all the methods, having all the methods to have conscious access to the superconscious happening is agamas. See, conscious access to the superconscious happenings in your life, everything from birth to death, that whole knowledge is called Charyapada. If you understand basics of Charyapada, you will understand why even after your death, you need your children, your inheritors to do regular Shraddha for you, to do Maheshwara Puja for you, to give offerings for you, because even after death, leaving the body, you are not dead. You travel to the Pitruloka. You see, if you are initiated by Guru and you have lived a sincere life with Guru Bhakti and connected to Shiva, you directly reach Kailasa. For some reason, if you are not reaching Kailasa, you will be in Pitruloka. as long as you reach Kailasa, you need your next generation to give Shraddha to you. Do not roam around as Preta. Listen, Pitrus who don't get Shraddha from your inheritors, from your parampara, whether you have a Garbha parampara like kids or Guru parampara like disciples, both need to give Shraddha, Maheshwara Puja, traditional offerings till you reach Kailasa. Only after reaching Kailasa you don't need anything. But in Pitruloka, you are stuck, means you are not pure enough or capable enough to reach Kailasa. You are stuck in Pitruloka or any other lokas. If you don't receive Shraddha, you become Preta, Pretatma. Listen. Be serious. Do not let your next generation get legally converted or ideologically converted for your sake. Don't say, oh, I came to this country to make money, to have a comfortable life, to give best to my kids. But now I saw my kid is legally converted and ideologically converted. Legally converting, legally getting converted is one. Ideologically getting converted is worst. If your kids, if they legally get converted, you won't receive Shraddha naturally. In their religion, the Shraddha concept is not there. It's only Sanatana Hindu Dharma elaborates the science of Shraddha. Hey, all NRIs, listen. You've done a great job moving to the first world countries for better opportunity, to live a luxurious life or comfortable life, to earn enough wealth and give the best to your kids. All that is great. Make sure you create an ecosystem. Instill Shraddha towards Sanatana Hindu Dharma inside your kids. One of the most happiest moment last 3 days, last 3-4 days, one of the most memorable moment I had is, one of my brahmachari, Rajananda, reported that he is taking Bhagavad Gita class and Sona Kamat's kids, boys are attending. I said, this is the best Sona is doing for our kids and Rajananda is doing for the next generation Hindus. That was such joyful moment for me. I said, all of you, listen, most of you moved to the first world countries for better opportunity. Nothing wrong. Great. Make sure your ecosystem you create around your kids inspires them, helps them, instills Shraddha on Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Because you need them to give Shraddha after you leave the body. Don't be a loser in that world just because you want to make few millions and money in this world. Make money, I'm not saying no, but don't be a loser in that world. So, understand at least basics of Charyapada. Basics of Charyapada. You need your next generation. If you are a Grihastha, the Karuvali Parampara means your daughters or son, even daughter can give Shraddha elaborately. Agama describes and accepts daughters giving Shraddha. I can give you Puranic references where daughters gave Shraddha. So, daughter or son or any gender, if your son or daughter has changed the sex and become a different gender, even they have right and authority to give Shraddha. They can give Shraddha. So understand, if you are a Grihastha, your kids, your biological kids, if you are a sannyasi, your Shishya Parampara, anyone has to give Shraddha till you reach Kailasa. If you have little conscious access to the superconscious happening in you, you will know your body still has the remains of your last 7 generation. Paran, Parai. That's what is called Parampara. Last 7 generations. Remnants are there in your body. So, giving Shraddha to your 7th generation heals them, heals you. Heals them in Brahmanda, heals you in the Pindanda. Their blessings are directly showered on you. Pitru Devata's blessings, Kula Devata's blessings are fundamental need for your success. Listen. Basically, our temples in those days used to be the place where all these great agamic truths are taught, shared. We are a civilization centered on Brahmanda, not just this planet Earth. Stop being cheap, local planet Earth. That is why in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, in Sanskrit language or Tamil language, we don't have the word for alien. Because we don't have alien. People from other lokas, other spaces, Deva, Yaksha, Gandharva, even Asuras, Muni, Rishi, all of them come, walk, meet with us. Sometimes they eat with us. Sometimes they have even blessed people with boons, kids, whatever they wanted. So they were never alien for us. You are from such rich civilization where Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and no aliens. Mata cha Parvati Devi, Pita Devu Maheshwaraha, Bandava Shivabhaktascha, Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. Means, my mother is Parvati, father is Shiva. All Shiva Bhaktas are my relatives and my family and friends. And my home country is Bhuvanatraya. Bhuvanatraya means the whole Brahmanda is my home country. my nation. Actually, if you are a Shiva Bhakta, in the column nationality, you need to fill Bhuvanatraya. The Bhuvana we are in, the Bhuvana above and Bhuvana below. That's it. If you are a Shiva Bhakta, in nationality column, you have to fill Bhuvanatraya. Because very clearly it declares, Swadeshu Bhuvanatrayam. Stop being local. And stop calling people from different worlds as aliens. Sanatana Hindu Dharma does not have a word for aliens. The whole Sanskrit you search, there is no word for aliens. There is no word for outsiders. Because we always went there, they came here. As recently as Mushukunda Chakravarti has gone to Devaloka to wage war for Indra against demons, Asuras. Not only that, he won the war for Indra, and Indra gifted Tyagaraja. That Tyagaraja is still sitting in Tiruvarur as a witness. He brought 7 Tyagarajas. All 7 are sitting in various temples in Tamil Nadu as a witness. For this casual, it is not that only he went. He was able to take his whole Sena, means that was a normal, available common science. Listen. I cannot say the present Tiruvarur chariot is the same chariot which came from Devaloka to Tiruvarur. It might have been newly built or renovated. I don't know about that. I can't say. But 100%, 120%, 1000%, I can give you guarantee that Tyagaraja Swami in Tiruvarur is directly from Devaloka. He is not made in this Bhuloka. He is directly from Devaloka. He is Swayambhu, manifested from Vishnu's heart as his Hridaya Anmartha Murthy. Then from Vishnu came down up to Indra. When Mushukunda Chakravarti went and won the war for Indra, he was given to Indra, given by Indra to Mushukunda Chakravarti, along with other 6 Tyagarajas. Totally 7 Tyagarajas came down to planet Earth. Tiruvarur Tyagaraja, I can be 1000% sure it's the same deity sitting as a witness. Because thousands of our ancestors gave life to protect that deity. Same way, I can be 100% sure. Again, 1000% sure. Ranganatha in Srirangam, that deity is directly from Brahma to Ramachandra Prabhu and gifted by Ramachandra Prabhu to Vibhishana, because Vibhishana supported Ramachandra Prabhu to win the war in Sri Lanka against Ravana. So he brought the Ranganatha Murthy and he is the same deity in Srirangam. Listen. Having conscious access to the superconscious happening called life, the methodology for all of that is documented as Charyapada. If you understand even little bit of Charyapada, you will not allow your kids to get converted legally or ideologically. There's another biggest crime happening, ideologically getting converted. Listen, if you understand even little bit of Charyapada, you will understand you need to be given Shraddha even after you leave the body. And you will not allow your next generation to get legally converted or ideologically getting converted. See, even if your next generation, your kids, ideologically gets diluted, he will not give Shraddha. He will say, oh, what is there? All religion, one and say, jing, jing, jang, jang. What is there? All this, I know there is one ultimate power, God, and I pray to that God. That's all this Shraddha, Puja, all these are just waste. Mumbo jumbo, and these are all just some of the Brahmins made and to make money, and some of these sadhus made to make money, this Maheshwara Puja and all that. This is what is ideologically getting converted, ideologically getting diluted, and ideologically getting converted. So understand, do not allow your next generation legally getting converted or ideologically getting converted just for your comfortable life. Don't lose your next generation. Don't lose your next generation. Having conscious access to the superconscious happening called life is Charyapada. All the methodology for that is compiled as Charyapada of Agama. Next, having conscious access to the superconscious happening in all the different gods and goddesses of the higher world, including Paramashiva in Kailasa. Inside Paramashiva, it's just only superconscious happening. Having conscious access to that superconscious happening, having conscious access to the superconscious happenings of different gods and deities and beings of the higher worlds is Kriyapada. That methodology is compiled, organized, presented is Kriyapada by Paramashiva in Agamas. Having conscious access to the superconscious happenings of Antakaranas, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, and many of the yogic beings, and even the Panchabhutas and all these kind of elements. That methodologies compiled together is called Yogapada. processes and methodologies to have conscious access to the superconscious happening called Brahmanda. This whole Prapancha, everything, said, unsaid, is called Jnanapada of Agamas. Paramashiva beautifully given 4 different methods for having conscious access to the superconscious happenings. Having conscious access to the Agni, the superconscious happening inside Agni, through that reaching out to all the gods and the superconscious happening inside them, that methodology is called homas. Yajnas, yagas, never think this long homas, pujas, ceremonies are something like people who are initial level, they do it. No, do not take them for granted. These long pujas are literally the way to keep you in Sahaja Samadhi. I will tell you, explain the secret to do these long rituals. For example, like Chandi Homa, you need to recite 700 verses of Chandi. You need to do Purvanga Puja, starting from Ganesha, all the Purvanga Puja, then whole Chandi Homa, and 13 Purnahutis. Then after that, Uttaranga Puja. This whole Chandi Homa, it's naturally a long ritual. To do that, you need to master all 4 padas. You need to be master of Charya Pada, means your lifestyle should completely be aligned, so you have everything, you know everything needed for that long ritual, including time dedicated or the interest generated, inspired. So you need to be having complete knowledge of Charya Pada, whether it's a body hygiene or preparations. Then you need to have understanding about Kriya Pada. Only then, when you chant those mantras, dhyana mantras or all other mantras, you can consciously visualize, invoke those gods, like do prana pratishta, avahanam of those gods and offer the worship. So you need to have a complete knowledge, exposure to Charya, to Kriya Pada. Then you need to have conscious exposure to Yoga Pada, because in every ritual, Kriya Pada, you need to do Bhuta Suddhi, means you need to awaken your Kundalini through the pranayama, bring it up to Sahasrara. You need to completely refresh your whole body. You need to make it into Deva Sarira to do Puja or Kriya. So you need to be a master of Yoga Pada to do long rituals. If you do long rituals without Charya Pada, you will become tired. If you do long rituals without Yoga Pada, you will feel bored. Same way, Jnana Pada, you need to have exposure to Jnana Pada, because you need to have a complete understanding about the whole cosmos and how these rituals directly reach the different gods and goddesses, beings and benefits you. If you do rituals without the Jnanapada exposure, you will become frustrated. Listen, these long rituals needs exposure to Charyapada, exposure to Kriyapada, exposure to Yogapada, exposure to Jnanapada. Without Charyapada, if you do long rituals, you will be tired. Without access to Kriyapada, exposure to Kriyapada, you can't do long rituals, because Kriyapada is the science which describes these long rituals. Without exposure to Yogapada, if you do long rituals, you will become tired, bored. Without Charyapada, if you do long rituals, you will be tired. Without Yogapada, if you do long rituals, you will be bored. Without exposure to Jnanapada, if you do long rituals, you will be frustrated. Because you don't know what has happened. End of the day, whether you reached the goal or did not reach. Long rituals become Sahaja Samadhi, spiritual, when you have exposure to Charyapada, Kriyapada, Yogapada, Jnanapada, all four. Om, Om, Om. Listen. Having conscious access to the superconscious happening in you is possible through focusing on the source of your first person ferociously, powerfully, consciously, and having conscious access to the superconscious happening in everyone around you will happen through deep love, ultimate compassion, ultimate friendliness, ultimate care. Having superconscious access happening inside you makes you Chiranjeevi, makes you eternal. We have some of the photographs of the Chandi Homa I performed in 2001, but before 2001, in 2000 itself, I performed Chandi Homa in Tiruvannamalai, just opposite to our ashram, Nithyananda Janmabhoomi Kshetra, Kailasa Tiruvannamalai. Just opposite, we have a Rajeshwari temple, Rajarajeshwari temple built by my Guru Kuppammal through her friends and relatives. I performed the Chandi Homa there at that time, 2000 itself. We have photographs. We'll try to pull it out. Listen, this kind of long rituals needs exposure to Charyapada, Kriyapada, Yogapada and Jnanapada. All four. Without exposure to Charyapada, if you do long rituals, you will become tired. Without exposure to Kriyapada, you can't do long rituals, because it's only Kriyapada explains the systems, methodologies of long rituals. Without exposure to Yogapada, if you do long rituals, you will be bored. Because all the visualizations, the components you need to do using your fresh mind, bright intelligence, is possible only if you have exposure to Yoga Pada. And that keeps the rituals juicy, alive. Without exposure to Jnana Pada, if you do long rituals, you will become frustrated because you don't know whether it reached those gods and goddesses, whether the fruits are going to be showered on you, whether this virtuous circle is generated or not. So all four padas are required to do long rituals. That is why I continuously encourage all my disciples, especially who are part of the Kailasa inside the campuses and Kailasas all around the world. All of you, maybe slowly, not slowly. It means what? Even though I say slowly, it is not slowly. Develop taste for long rituals. Develop taste for long rituals. You can start with chanting Rudram, chanting Bhagavad Gita, chanting Chandi. Once you start chanting, even Bhagavad Gita Homa is done. Traditionally, Bhagavad Gita Homas are done. Whole 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita will be chanted and ahutis will be given. Why do you think I put so many deities in all our temples? All our temples, the unique thing is all gods will be there. I'll try to get more and more. Because then naturally you will start enjoying these long rituals. Enjoying all four padas. So, I tell you, the purpose of life is nothing but having conscious access to superconscious happenings of the universe. Kailasa is all about have conscious access to superconscious happening inside you, in everyone around you, and in every beings of the higher worlds, in every gods of the higher worlds, including Mahakailasa and Paramashiva, every Panchabhutas, every Panchamahabhutas. In this universe, every elements in this universe, whether Prithvi Tattva, earth, water, fire, air, space, Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, Akasha Tattvas, having conscious access to the superconscious happenings is the fundamental purpose of Kailasa. Giving you all conscious access to the superconscious happenings in various beings and various levels, including you, up to Paramashiva, is the purpose of Mahakailasa. The whole lifestyle of Kailasa, everything is centered on this. Practice ferocious powerfulness and focusing on the source of your first person as a methodology to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside you. Same way, practice love, compassion, care, friendliness, ultimate love, ultimate love, ultimate compassion, ultimate care, ultimate friendliness, ultimate sweetness, all these should be practiced towards others as a methodology, process to have conscious access to the superconscious happening inside them. That will actually make all of them as part of you. When you have access to when you get access, conscious access to the superconscious happening in people around you, you will suddenly see you have extra hands, you have extra heads, you have extra energy, you have extra people. That is what makes you God while even you are living in this world. Fortunately, Paramashiva's grace, when I was born and brought up in Tiruvannamalai temple, I want all of you to know, many times people try to say, even in the media and YouTube channels, Nithyananda is born in Tiruvannamalai district. No, I am born in not just Tiruvannamalai district or Tiruvannamalai, I am born inside Tiruvannamalai temple. Tiruvannamalai temple has 7 prakaras. The 6th prakaram is called Madavidi. Just like Srirangam and Madurai, Tiruvannamalai also inside temple. That's 7 prakaram itself. There are houses. So, I was born and brought up inside Arunachaleshwara's temple, 6th prakaram called Madavidi. The 4 streets. The eastern side is Theradi Veedi, southern side is Tiruvudal Veedi, western side is Pegopura Veedi, and northern side is Periya Veedi. These 4 Veedis are called Madavidi, which is 6th prakaram of the temple. So I was born and brought up in Tiruvannamalai district, in Tiruvannamalai, that also inside Arunachaleshwara's temple. Madavidi, within the 6th prakaram of Arunachaleshwara temple. So understand, when I was born and brought up with the Paramashiva's grace, of course, even now Paramashiva keeps it alive and shares it with whoever he wants. In Tiruvannamalai, all 4 pada, Charya pada, Kriya pada, Yoga pada, Jnana pada, all was available as a living science. Even now Paramashiva keeps it alive, Arunachaleshwara keeps it alive. And he expresses, he shows himself to people and gives the access. My only work is taking Tiruvannamalai global. The same ecosystem which exists in Tiruvannamalai, making it globally available to all of you and in Kailasa. Just reproducing it with His grace. Multiplying it with His grace, with Arunachaleshwara's grace. Understand? Today, whatever I spoke, this whole satsang. Listen few more times. Listen few more times. You will get a complete idea about how Kailasa's lifestyle is. My vision is what exactly need to be done to be a successful Kailasavasi in Kailasa, or to create Kailasa ecosystem wherever you are. I am making elaborate satsangs, descriptions on my vision for Kailasa, so it penetrates into each one of you, and each one of you become a beautiful ecosystem in Kailasa or wherever you are. It is with the grace of Paramashiva, Arunachaleshwara, with the grace of Paramashiva, Arunachaleshwara, just multiplying this Arunachala's ecosystem globally, making it available to all of you wherever you are and in Kailasa. These are the photographs when I did Chandi Homa in 2000. In the temple just opposite to our ashram, Nithyananda Janmabhoomi Kshetra in Girivalapadi. All right. I'll give few more satsangs on more elaborate details of my vision and even the history of Kailasa, and some more geographies are also ready to be revealed. In further satsangs, I'll reveal some more geographies. History of Kailasa is as old as sun. Geography of Kailasa is as new as sunrise. History of Kailasa is as old as sun. Geography of Kailasa is as new as sunrise. We are getting new, more and more. So, I'll reveal few more geographies soon, opening for all of you to come and settle down, whoever is interested. With this, I bless you all. Be blissful.
श्री कैलासोन्नत द्वादशान्त श्यामला पीठारूढ़ श्री मीनाक्षि सुंदरेश्वर भिन्न स्वरूप परशिव पुत्र रत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणासमधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान् गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिह्न काहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपण शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तः साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरो श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।